Final predictions. Chelsea vs Arsenal.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. There's no need to whisper it, Tom. It is the FA Cup final. Before we get into everything, we don't need to obviously talk about timestamps down below because there's only the one game. But I do just want to say thank you and a little shout out to our friends at Grandstand Betters. Go over to their YouTube channel. He's just started making YouTube videos. They're a superb tipster website. We love working with these guys. They'll certainly help you out with your sports betting. And if you enjoy sports betting, this is the place you should be. You can see a little picture of Matt there, right there in the middle of the screen, talking you through. If you go and click on the video or click on the link in the top corner, you can go and check out Grandstand Betters. I think that's enough promoting, hot dogging, grandstanding. Let's get into this, Tom. Let's get into this main event.
Arsenal versus Chelsea Football Club.
A London derby for the FA Cup final and a rerun of the Europa League final from last season. But of course, with a couple of different managers in the dugouts. And I think I speak for all football fans when I say we hope we have a different winner than what happened in that Europa League final. Are you all right, Thomas? Can I get an amen to that? Can I get an amen? An amen?
I don't like you. I don't like them.
I'm wearing red, you're wearing blue. So it's pretty obvious who we're going to be supporting in these games. And I absolutely knew you're not going to have anything nice to say about Arsenal. So you can start. You can talk about Chelsea. You can tell me what Chelsea can possibly do to stop this Arsenal onslaught.
So we'll just quickly cover this. Chelsea entered the FA Cup in the third round. They beat Forest 2-0. Fourth round beat Hull 2-1. Fifth round beat Liverpool 2-0. Quarterfinal beat Leicester 1-0 and beat Man United 3-1 in the semi-final. So they have had to play at least three very, very good teams. They played 1, 3, and 5 of the Premier League, beat all of them and only conceded one goal in that. So I think we can assume this is quite a strong Chelsea team that we're going to see out there. In the last semi-final, they actually came out and they really did play better than Man United. They got a little bit lucky when De Gea made an error off Mason Mount's shot after half-time. But in general, you'd say they deserved that result. And they had a really nice run-up to this by beating Wolves 2-0 in the Premier League to end the season, guarantee themselves fourth place. And they were very accomplished in that game, and that's what they needed. Now, question number one, will Willy Caballero start or will Kepa get the space? I think Caballero is going to start. He stuck with him all season. He stuck with him against Man United. I think he'll be starting. Almost certainly Cesar Azpilicueta will be out there. The question then is who is starting at center back? Will it be Zuma and Rudiger like it was against United? And I'm going to be totally honest. I don't see any reason to change the team from here. I don't see any reason that basically this exact lineup won't play. So that lineup was Azpilicueta, Zuma, Rudiger, and James across the back. Jorginho, Kovacic, and Alonso in the midfield. And Willian, Giroud, and Mason Mount up front. I see literally no reason unless there's an injury to change that. You got Pulisic on the bench, Pedro on the bench, Abraham on the bench. You've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Callum Hudson-Odoi. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Would you not have started Pulisic? I thought you would have started with Pulisic.
I love Pulisic, but Mason Mount has been great this year. Willian is probably leaving the club and has been a great servant to him. And if he is leaving the club, he deserves the final. If he isn't leaving the club and they want to keep him, they're probably going to play him in the final. The only player you can see in this lineup being taken out is Olivier Giroud, because Olivier Giroud is the most hated striker in London. No matter who he plays for, they don't let him play.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Been in great form. Yeah, sorry, I think we're going to take you out of the side, Olivier.
I think Tammy needs a chance here in the final. Honestly, though, Chelsea's form to me, and Chelsea fans, tell me what you think, but I think your form is much better when Giroud plays up front. I think he gives the entire team a different dimension, and he gives you the hold-up play, but he also gives you this sort of, it's not hold-up play that his back is to goal. A lot of the time, it's just passing the ball on to a winger or allowing play to flow around him, and every now and then, he does hold up the play, but most of the time, it's just facilitating two really quick wingers right and left of him and allowing him to play. And they have such a good midfield behind him. Kovacic has been immense this season. He might be one of the unsung heroes of the Premier League. We all know Marcos Alonso is a decent player who's better at attacking than defending. And Jorginho can only do one thing, and it's pass the ball. So he's in a pretty good place in the pitch to do it. I think they're going to win, Ian. I think they're going to win 3-0.
What a shock. And may I be the first to say, boulder dash to you. It's going to be a Gunners victory all day long. Yes, Arsenal to get to the final. They beat Leeds in the third round, Bournemouth, Portsmouth, Sheffield United and Man City. So you'd say a slightly easier route than Chelsea. But they still, Sheffield United are no mugs, and Man City, obviously, it was a tough game. Probably was one of their best results, best performances of the season in that game. Arsenal, I mean, you could say they're two sides that are very inconsistent. You really don't know what you're going to get with either side in this one. It was very typical of Arsenal to have those games against Liverpool and Man City where they looked very good and very solid, and then they had two games at the end of the season. You could say they'd taken their foot off the gas, but they played Villa and they played Watford, and I know they beat Watford, but they looked very dozy in that game as well. They were gifted a 3-0 start, but every time Watford went forward, they looked like they were going to score a goal. They carved Arsenal apart, and I just hope they don't go into this final. I don't think they will, but I just hope they don't go into this final and produce like one of those kind of lazy, dozy displays, thinking they can go toe-to-toe with this Chelsea side, because it'll just end in tears. They need to go back to that way they played against Manchester City and to that style as well. I think they need to play 3 centre-backs. I just want to give a quick shout to the goalkeeper, because I don't think we've ever mentioned it on Very Biased Opinions, actually. But I think this guy's been excellent since coming in. I think Martinez has been a real safe pair of hands. I don't think Leno did a bad job either this season, but there's a lot of question marks when he came in, but I think he's done a really good job. Obviously, they're going to have Luiz, and you never know what you're going to get with David Luiz. He could be sensational and terrible.
Question.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I know I just cut into whenever you're speaking, but Arsenal fans, I don't like Arsenal, so please don't just downvote this because of that. But
is this a question? It doesn't sound like a question.
No, genuinely tell me which goalkeeper you prefer having, because Leno's been really good, but everything I've seen out of Martinez, he looks freaking awesome, and he's just taken over completely. It must be really nice to go from not having a goalkeeper for like the last 5 years to all of a sudden having 2 really quality keepers. But which one's your favorite? I don't know. That is a good question. Who's your favourite centre-back? Because I don't think it's going to be David Luiz. As I say, yeah, he. So you never know. He could quite easily go and score a hat-trick and be amazing, or he could quite easily get sent off in the first 10 minutes. But he's got to play, mainly because they got injuries to Mustafi. I think they still need to play 3 at the back. They can play Tierney. Then it's just, do they play Rob Holding or do they play Socrates? It's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I would personally maybe go with Rob Holding. I just think he might be slightly better, although when Arsenal do try and pass the ball out from the back, he looks an incredibly weak link in that area of his game. 4 across the middle, I think Xhaka is probably the key man in this whole team, and it's weird to say, judging of parts of this season, you thought he'd never play again for Arsenal, but he's been pretty good in the last few games, and I think he really needs to kind of be the rock, because there's going to be times in this game where Arsenal just do need to sit in, absorb pressure, soak it up from Chelsea, and then hit them on the break. And he was a big part of the win against Liverpool and against Man City in that regard. Ceballos has been like the kind of, I'm not saying he is Bruno Fernandes, Tom, but I'm saying he's their kind of similar player to Bruno Fernandes. He's the sort of guy that looks like he can get his foot on the ball and pass the ball in behind, which has been a key feature of Arsenal, get in behind the lines. Maitland-Niles and Bellerin, I mean, they're pretty. I mean, you've got problems with Bellerin, I know you do, but he does offer a lot of pace. He is a pretty good guy to have as like a wing back, because he's good at getting forward. But for Arsenal, let's be fair, it's all about these 3 guys they pick up front, running in behind Chelsea. They're going to have to play direct. They're going to have to sort of be clinical with their chances. Lacazette, Pepe, and of course Aubameyang. Aubameyang nearly got the golden boot, finished 1 behind Jamie Vardy. But the pace they can break with will frighten this Chelsea side and could cause them real problems. And I think that is going to be the key to the victory, because do not forget, Arteta is a graduate from the Guardiola School of something or other. And because he is... Football.
Yes,
Life.
There we go.
Things.
Fine art.
Yes. Bowls.
And I just have a feeling Arsenal are just going to win this one. I wouldn't say it's a disaster, Gunners fans, if you don't, because I do think that you could do with a season of not being in the Europa League, if I'm perfectly honest. But I think Arsenal will win, and I think it will be a win for the Gunners. 2 for Aubameyang, 1 for Giroud in reply for Chelsea. 2-1 to Arsenal.
If Arsenal win this, for me, it means Saka plays. I think he is like the jack of all trade, incredible player that can come out. Not jack of all trade, that's a jack in the box, maybe. but he's the player who's just going to explode if he can get on the pitch and just run at them. And I think you've got to have Lacazette and Aubameyang. If those two don't start up front, I see no way they can win this match.
You don't think Pepe then? I think Pepe's got like a little bit something special in his locker at times.
He has something special, but when was the last time? And I'm okay, Arsenal fans get mad at me again, but
Brighton.
No, 2 games in a row. When is the last time he had 2 good games in a row?
Okay, so that's what myself and Thomas think. As always, please let us know your prediction down below. We really want to know what you think. And we also want to know if you agree with us or whether you think we are talking the biggest pile of waffle of all times. Thomas, please tell the people to like and subscribe and all that jazz. And if you have any shout outs, now is the time to do it.
So, from our FA Cup semi-final video, Shane O'Donnell, you had an all-Manchester final. So did I. It did not work out. I'm pretty sure so did Ian as well. So
I didn't. I had Chelsea to beat United.
No one's listening to you. Shh. Chris Smith said it's either going to be a London derby or a Manchester derby. Well, you got one of those right. Robert Allen said there's football on now. There is, kind sir. Sam Harrington, Manchester derby final with United as winners. I bloody wish. And Maxis Schnauzy thought that City would get in the final, but they didn't. Roberto Hollis had an Arsenal victory and a Chelsea victory.
I need to interrupt. Man United are out.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for that. It feels good. It fills me with
I wasn't
joy.
sure if you were aware, and you interrupted me, so I just thought it was only fair, you know?
Oh, no. I like it when you interrupt me. It keeps me guessing. Roberto Hollis had an Arsenal and a Chelsea victory. Well done, mate. Honestly, really well done.
Yeah,
Aris Srinivasan is in shock over the Arsenal victory. So were the rest of us, but great job. Really great job. Alexander Allen, no one likes you. I don't care what you've commented on. And anybody who commented on Alexander Allen's thing, get out. David Cargill, Faith Ann, and Logan, thank you all for commenting. But you commented under Alexander Allen. She's out. Derek Atkinson said Manchester derby final. Unfortunately, like most of us, you were wrong. Calpesh Campbell said another Manchester derby is on the card. Faith Ann had a City versus Man United final. Again, none of this happened, but thank you for your predictions and bad luck. Johannan John had City winning and United winning. It did not, unfortunately, work out. We are all shocked. We are all exhausted. And how did Arsenal make it? I don't know. That being said, thank you all for liking, commenting, subscribing. I apologize if my shout-outs are not as joyous as they could be, but I love you all. I'm just so sad that Man United lost like a week and a half ago. I'm still getting over it on the inside.
Hey, you won't be sad when they're playing the Champions League next season, son.
Correct. Getting beaten in the Champions League.
Beaten by Feyenoord.
Fenerbahce. Anyway, look, thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Please keep doing it. And we will see you quite possibly on a live stream for the final. But if not a live stream, then a review directly after the match.